Jaguar Wright literally told us a couple months ago the next person that was going to go down with Diddy was going to be Jay-Z, and she has been standing on their neck for years now.
So Diddy have on tape, he taped everything. He taped everything and taped everybody.
How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah?
Some observers believe there's a clear pattern in how Diddy has repeatedly sidestepped serious consequences, arguing that he relies on the same strategic playbook that helped him survive the fallout from his highly publicized 1999 club incident. According to this view, each controversy is met with carefully timed moves meant to redirect attention, control the narrative, and stay one step ahead of public backlash, turning moments that could have exploded into full-blown crises into tightly managed stories designed to preserve power and control.
And as we going towards the boathouse, I look in the distance, and it's this man in all black. He's in all black. And he turns, and it looked like he had the white collar. I couldn't be sure. I couldn't be positive, but it looked like he had the white collar, because Puff said, "Yo, Gene, stay right here." And I stayed right there, and he kept on walking. So when Puff get directly to the dude, he gets down on his knees. When he gets down on his knees, this man takes something, and it seemed like it had smoke in it, and he started doing it around Puff. And then he went back and forth, and then he went up and down with it, sideways with it, then back around him. And then he put it down, and then he put his hand on Puff's head, and I guess he started, saying something. I don't even really know what he said, but I couldn't tell what he said. You understand what I'm saying? Long story short, I see Puff reach into this case. And when he reached into this case, he came out and you could see something white in his hand. I didn't know it was a bird. I didn't know what it was at first, but he threw it up in the air. And when he threw it in the air, it came straight back down like it was a brick and said, "Pow," on the concrete. And I was like, oh, that was...
What's fueling the conversation now is the sense that many who were once close to Diddy are quietly pulling away, unsettled by how he continues to move forward without facing real consequences and wary of being tied to any future comeback. In moments like this, one name inevitably draws attention: Jay-Z, as questions grow about who could be caught in the ripple effects of old tensions, shifting alliances, and unresolved chapters that still simmer beneath the surface.
Gets to get out, be with his family. They didn't really railroad him like they did R. Kelly.
Isn't that interesting how I've been saying that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Since 2022, I've been talking about acceptable monsters. Hand-selected, hand-picked. Tell me something. How does R. Kelly's music get snatched off the...
So why is Jay-Z's name suddenly back in the spotlight? According to Jaguar Wright, it goes far beyond rumors or headlines, pointing instead to a pivotal moment involving Diddy and Jay-Z that could alter the course of hip-hop itself. Beneath the glamour and carefully crafted public narratives, she claims a quiet but powerful conflict is unfolding, one that forces a choice between loyalty to old alliances and full transparency, between preserving a legacy and facing hard truths head-on.
Silent about his connection to Diddy. And baby, she wasn't lying, because Jaguar Wright was just on Piers Morgan exposing the out of Jay-Z. Jaguar Wright was calling out Jay-Z for his silence, saying that now he's gonna have no choice but to talk because he has connections with Diddy, R. Kelly, Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. She also said that she has victims that have video footage of these freak-offs and what they do to people, and she said that she saw what Jay-Z and Beyonce were allegedly doing to people. Jaguar Wright even said that Jay-Z is the one that allegedly set up R. Kelly because he knew everything that he was doing and he was doing the same shit. And she said that Jay-Z is the one that funded surviving R. Kelly because his best friend for years is Dream Hampton. And baby, she wasn't lying. Jay-Z and Dream Hampton have been...
Even with Diddy under intense pressure behind bars, the tension surrounding him continues to escalate. Many believe that if he moves to protect himself, he could drag others into the spotlight along with him, and Jay-Z's name is already being mentioned in those conversations. Jaguar Wright hints at an even deeper, more explosive chapter tied to Diddy's rumored behind-the-scenes moves, something still buried beneath the surface. And if it ever comes out, she believes it could shake the music world far more than anything revealed so far.
But it's another thing when you look at it for what, in my opinion, I believe it actually is.
And what is it?
Demonic ritualistic behaviors, humiliation rituals, offerings to the devil.
We were just talking about that. Revelation 17, the mystery of Babylon. I don't think people really want to get into that when they talk about mystery Babylon and the abominations and the rituals, the SEX rituals, the traffic to the, traffic jam.
I mean, we all know the saying that they have out here, right? They say that the music industry, the film industry, Hollywood and all that is the devil's playground. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. What about you? Leave it in the comments section. Let's talk about it, but let's also continue.
The selling of your body, all that stuff, mystery of Babylon, y'all.
Like, I want y'all to really think about what they were talking about. See, everybody was, the spreading of bodily fluids from one person to another, using one person as a receptacle, and then taking it from that person's body and then putting it and smearing it all over.
To understand how it all reached this breaking point, you have to rewind to the era when Jay-Z and Diddy sat at the very top of hip-hop, moving as true power brokers who shaped not just the music, but the culture around it. Through Rock Nation and Bad Boy, they built empires that defined style, influence, and ambition for an entire generation. Their iconic events projected unity, strength, and unchecked dominance. But as Jaguar Wright suggests, their bond was never sustained by friendship alone. It was reinforced by unspoken realities, the kind of closely guarded secrets that, if ever exposed, could crack the foundation of everything they built.
CIA agent like Jeffrey Epstein, I watched that in a video or something. And it's possible that he came in the game young, because I heard that a story of Gene Deal saying that Diddy had to go meet with the feds. He don't know what it was about, and it was in his earlier part of his career. I wonder if he could have been working with him for all these years. Who knows? Let's talk about it in the comments, but we're going to continue.
SEX magic. Sure enough. Yeah, Jay-Z, yeah, he wears Aleister Crowley t-shirts.
Well, I got dragged.
He had a line of his own clothing. Like, I want y'all to really think about this.
I got dragged for bringing that to people's attention. They were like, oh yeah, he's a conspiracy theorist because he said, I'm like, no, that's what he wore. And he was with Abramovich. Like, yeah, y'all gotta, who you hang with is who you are.
I'm still trying to understand how people want to sit there and talk about me, and he's sitting there frontal lobe to frontal lobe with a known witch. And people don't question.
And the funny thing is
do as thou wilt. Yeah.
The funny thing is when you talk about witches, and I'm still not going to go in on this this raccoon of a content creator who decided to, shout you out one minute and then try to drag you for going on a platform and saying, you said about witchcraft takes one to know one, and he just automatic, you a witch. So the thing is that's another smear campaign, your credibility, and then they go after your.
You want to know what's funny?
I don't want to say religiosity. What is it?
What is what?
No, I'm saying they go after your.
Wright even suggested that Diddy's most powerful move could be complete transparency, using honesty as leverage and courage as protection by revealing the deeper connections and long-ignored alliances that have kept certain powerful figures out of the spotlight. If he chose to negotiate his way forward, it could expose an entire network of ties that many believe would never come to light.
Diddy, and nobody believed her. I remember her very first interview years ago saying how Diddy was a trafficker, and everybody thought she was crazy and everybody ridiculed everything she had to say. Well, now does she seem crazy? What I love about Jaguar Wright is watching her time and time again get vindicated on things that she says. Like, it was so crazy back then that nobody wanted to believe it, but now that we are seeing things come to light, how crazy is it actually? I've always been the type that can't stand when people are called crazy because the things that they are saying are hard for a person to believe. This doesn't make a person crazy, and these people wouldn't be saying these things for no reason. We watch it happen time and time again with these situations, just like Cat Williams, just like Michael Jackson, just like Aaron Carter, and even Kanye. I really feel like in 2024, everybody has woken up and seen that all of these people saying this throughout the years, they're not crazy. They're not saying all of this for no reason, and it's something that I've known for years. Jaguar Wright literally told us a couple months ago the next person that was going to go down with Diddy was going to be Jay-Z, and she has been standing on their neck for years now. She's even talked about Jay-Z's alleged relationships with younger people in the past, such as Aaliyah, such as Foxy Brown, such as Rihanna. And
Wright maintains that one story still lurking in the shadows deserves attention. The story of Kathy Karana White. She alleges that Kathy had a connection to Jay-Z and was preparing to speak publicly about it. According to Wright, Kathy died just one day after expressing plans to come forward, a detail she believes is critical to understanding the pressures, forces, and long-standing silence that have kept certain industry truths buried.
And the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think, and maybe he just had to clean it up?
She goes even further, making claims that place responsibility on the Carters, while suggesting that one figure bears more weight than the other. She frames it not as established fact, but as disturbing questions. Was Sean Carter forced to cover up a situation involving a pregnant woman because of jealousy, or was he protecting someone else from the fallout of an explosive temper? In her telling, these are unresolved accusations and dark suspicions raised to illustrate how far powerful figures might go to shield reputations and preserve an image the public was never meant to question.
At all or whatever else. Did you see the two of them interact a lot?
I seen them interact, but I wouldn't say they was close. I believe Puff felt they was close.
Oh.
But if you was a person on the outside looking in, like me and Uncle Paulie used to always talk about it, me and D-Rock was talking about, yo, why Puff kind of like sucking Jay off so much? You know what I'm saying? Because you'd be like, we done flew to 5 or 6, 7 different concerts that Jay-Z has. But Jay-Z is not at one of Puff's shows. You know what I'm saying? You look at the Rock brunch where Puff will break his neck to get to the brunch. But Jay-Z don't pop up at any of Puff parties. You know, now I can only speak up until 2012. You know what I'm saying? And Puff was breaking his neck. Like at the end of the day, in our mind, we say, yo, he ain't even invite Puff to his wedding. When he married Beyonce, Steve Stout and all of them was there. You know what I'm saying? And Puff was kind of in his feelings, but once again.
Oh, Puff was upset he didn't get invited to the wedding?
Of course he was.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to remember, we're security, so we're bottom on a tote pole. So he's not going to show you that it really affects him until you have a little conversation with him, or you say something, or you overhear something. But he didn't get invited to that, you know. Yeah, Jay came through every once in a while. Like if we was in a yacht in San Tropez or one of these places like that, Jay might ride up, you know what I'm saying? And it's more or less to show, yeah, I got a yacht too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm out here too. More or less than we're tight friends. I look at it as two people that's getting money because they did have some businesses together and we did have to go to some meetings together. And it was like, this is how far it goes, but we're not friends. You know what I'm saying? Like people ask me that all the time. I mean, Jay ain't really with Puff. It was no personal into it. It would be like if Ron Burgos is flying from LA on his jet, but Jay-Z just so happens to be going to New York too. We all end up on the jet flying back, those type of things, but nothing to go out his way. It's if we in a club, you might be downtown at bed or something like that. Jay-Z might be there. So they end up at the same table. You know what I'm saying? And it was times where I listen to the records now where Jay-Z said, yo, why should I drink Ciroc when why should I drink Grey Goose when Puff got Ciroc? This is something new that just started happening because I remember we almost got into a big altercation with Pecos and them because
Rashawn Pecos?
Yeah, because Puff was there and Jay and them was there and they had a bunch of Grey Goose bottles come to the table. And Puff felt like, yo, that was disrespectful. And he knocked over the Grey Goose.
Wright's claims grow even more serious as she alleges that both Diddy and Jay-Z know the full truth behind Kathy's story, and that Diddy could expose everything if he ever chose to cooperate with investigators. The question, she says, is whether he would actually take that step. She points to early warning signs of straying years ago, small but telling moments, like Jay-Z skipping one of Diddy's major events, followed later by Diddy doing the same. In an industry where nothing goes unnoticed, those quiet moves hinted at a widening rift behind the scenes. And according to Roger Bonds, Diddy's former head of security, there was far more happening beneath the surface than the public was ever allowed to see.
For enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane, to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now, I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who was a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who was a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone.
Jaguar Wright has kept the conversation about Jay-Z and Diddy alive for years, repeatedly resurfacing her allegations and drawing stark comparisons to how high-profile figures involved in scandals, like Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, R. Kelly, and Diddy, faced intense public scrutiny. In her view, Jay-Z operated differently, with quiet calculation, shielding his public image while navigating the industry's most turbulent moments. Wright portrays him as someone who stayed just outside the fallout, a figure whose influence worked behind the scenes, while others bore the brunt, quietly shaping narratives in ways most people never notice.
He may start revealing things about other people.
He has no choice. His ego and his addiction won't allow him to do anything different. Anybody who thinks he's not going to talk is crazy. He's got everybody on tape. They all know it. It's a mess. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife.
Wright argues that this is precisely why she believes Diddy could one day turn on Jay-Z when pressure peaks and self-preservation takes priority. She suggests the smartest move might be to let long-buried stories speak for him. To some, her claims may seem extreme, but she insists she has been raising these concerns for years, asserting that both Jay-Z and Diddy maintain their power through calculated tactics and tightly controlled narratives. In her view, they shaped careers, guided public perception, and operated behind the scenes in ways the broader public still doesn't fully grasp.
Our videos are being heavily suppressed. You know, I gotta read you guys this. It's funny. It's like they really want to corral everywhere I go and who I talk to and what I say. Oh, hold on. Where is it? Oh, I don't have it in here. I sent myself the wrong one. No, that was a long. Oh, but then there is this. Oh, did you see this? Have you seen this? Yeah. Jaguar Wright, almost unalived by Diddy's hitman. Noah Jacob, TV. I shouted him out once before. I guess they paid you real good. You fake Christian piece of crap. Bearing false witness. You call yourself a Christian? Bearing false witness, you stupid little kid. Because if you think I'm not going to come after your platform, and if you think I'm not going to make sure that everybody goes to your platform and report you for the lies you told with your AI evidence video that you put up.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what the video said? That number one, it said Diddy's hitman, but
Whether Jaguar Wright's claims hold truth or not, they've reignited one of hip-hop's most charged debates. How much of the story remains hidden beneath fame, power, and years of silence? She isn't alone in questioning the Jay-Z-Diddy dynamic. Commentator Ano pointed to perhaps the clearest signal during Diddy's troubles: the speed at which former allies, particularly Jay-Z, distanced themselves. Once parallel forces, 2 self-made giants who built their legacies side by side, they shaped the industry together. Yet when the tide turned against Diddy, Jay-Z appeared to pull back almost immediately, safeguarding his brand with uncanny precision, as if he'd anticipated the storm long before anyone else did.
Still Puff Daddy. He's not going to be able to do none of the stuff he was doing before, though, as far as business-wise.
Look, Puff Daddy and Jay-Z were considered peers at one point. Now, Jay-Z and Diddy are not talked about in the same
Jay-Z got the fuck away from that shit fast. You know what I'm saying?
Jay-Z was like, yeah, I don't know him. I know him, but not like that.
Yo, the niggas got like 80 pictures together, all type of parties.
I know, of course they know each other.
Hov said, listen, I don't know. Hov said, Hov ain't going for Hov. Like, I don't know, boy. We did it. We was together a couple times.
Despite countless public appearances together at events and celebrations, Jay-Z gradually began downplaying their closeness, framing any connection to Diddy as little more than professional overlap. Ano notes that Jay-Z's demeanor shifted to a cool, guarded distance, almost as if to say, "We crossed paths, nothing more," a move driven more by caution than camaraderie. He recognized that remaining visibly aligned with Diddy during turbulent times could draw unwanted controversy onto his own name. Now, speculation has emerged suggesting that Jay-Z's past associations and alliances are under renewed scrutiny, with some observers arguing he may be quietly positioning himself to stay insulated while navigating the fallout surrounding Diddy.
Here's the thing, right? Kanye, and I know some of the people around him, it's like Kanye can no longer do a lot of things he could do before.
Like what?
He can't tour in Europe. He can't tour in America. He has to go to like China, South Korea, like Brazil. There's only a few places in the world that'll book him. He can't even go into Australia. Like Australia said that the Hail Hitler song got him banned to even enter the country, even though his wife is Australian. He wasn't even trying to perform. They wouldn't even let him in the country. Listen, you start doing songs like Hail Hitler, you become a symbol of hatred to the world.
That's like one of the worst people you could ever try.
You know, I interviewed the dude that wrote that song, Dave Blunts. You know, the big...
Okay, what's that? Write this song?
Nah, well, he performed it though. I mean, it's still his song. But yeah, no, Dave Blunts wrote it. He also wrote the cousin song, the one about giving his cousin head. And I asked him, I'm like...
So what's this guy? What's this guy that wrote the songs? Is he...
Dave Blunts. He's like the 600-pound rapper.
Tapes, and I want you to give more clarity. So you believe they only got Puffy because they wanted these tapes. But what do you think is on these tapes?
Bro, you got to realize you got people like Prince Harry. Prince Harry was at a Diddy party. You got some of the same Universal executives. Diddy made it cool for, I'm just gonna say it like this, man, whites to hang out with the hood dudes. Dude from the hood, he made it cool and safe for them to hang out with the white executives. They used them for that. They used them enough, whereas that now you got white executives doing Diddy-like parties. Remember the dude from, Frantic? The clothing line, the sports line? They was mad because they didn't get invites to his party because he was doing white parties, doing parties like Diddy. Now, I ain't talking about the freak-off party part of it, but I'm just saying, he was doing those parties and everybody, there was rappers, or I think Stephen A. Smith said something about he was upset that he didn't get no invite. So it was those parties that everybody want to be at. So Diddy have on tape, he taped everything.
If the claims circulating online ever prove true and more high-profile figures face public fallout, some observers believe it could give Jay-Z and his wife an opportunity to consolidate influence on the business side of the industry, with fewer rivals in their way. Many still speculate that Jay-Z could eventually face his own scrutiny, though not anytime soon. He remains well insulated, and it reportedly took years for investigators to build a case strong enough against Diddy. Commentators note Jay-Z's long-standing pattern of stepping back from associates when it serves his long-term strategy. If Diddy ever chose to speak openly, it could thrust Jay-Z directly into the spotlight. To some, the entire situation prompts a bigger question. Is this all part of a calculated power struggle at the top of the industry?